I think no matter how many...
Sorry, my head was down.
Oh, that's okay. Somebody's moving. Low. It's kind of hot and sweaty down there.
It's okay, I don't mind.
What are you doing in there?
Busy.
Are you guys talking about me? Celine does that. She walks in a room. Are you guys talking about me? No, but I think you wish we were.
Baby McCrae is on the way.
We're glowing and I'm growing because everyone in our family is so excited that another baby McCrae is on the way.
This means that Ace gets to get promoted to big cousin, and I'm so excited because we have babies that will be close in age. I have the most amazing squad of mothers around me, sisters, friends, and I'm able to learn from all of them.
So me getting ready to become a mom of 4 calls for some major mom advice, hacks, and overall discussions about what they don't tell you when you have a lot of kids. So on today's episode, we're gonna be sharing some of our most personal experiences with hopes that we would make your journey just a little more easygoing.
I think the way I kind of got my groove with Ace was staying locked in. I think everyone gives you advice, which was always good advice, but it's always pertaining to their baby. But my baby was always a night owl in the stomach, and that has not changed. So learning how to be sleep deprived and still be active with him all day long was just a craft perfected over time. Stealing naps, making sure that I eat, taking help when it was offered. It just switches what you think will be routine into like doing whatever is needed in the moment.
Watching Malika as a first-time mom has been a joy for me personally, but like enlightening too, because as times change, the way we do things change, baby things change. Like I feel like she's adapted to her world as mommy. It's a little bit of role reversal. Like I used to tell her all the things I was doing, like embarking on becoming a mother, and now she's sharing all of that with me now that I'm doing it again.
The most immediate challenge that I've had with being a new mom was sleep training. I did so much reading when I was pregnant, and I've spoke to friends since Ace has been here, and I was prepared for it being difficult. I just also thought he was kind of gonna do whatever mommy wanted him to do. Boy, was I wrong. Ace is kind of beating at his own drum. Most parents are like, you know, you're gonna let him cry it out. Take 5 minutes, go back in the room, come back out, do 10 minutes, then, you know, keep extending it before he just goes to sleep on his own and self-soothes. For the mom that walked in the room and it worked for her, if my son could see me, I was torturing him, and I had to learn to leave him alone and let him self-soothe, and that's how we're getting longer stretches of sleep. I took the advice.
Yeah.
I did some of the things that other mothers have done, but most importantly, I paid attention to my own child. It's trial and error. You just don't give up, no matter how tired you are, because putting that work and effort in the beginning is how you get to that like championship sleep later. We're working on it still, but we're so much closer.
He's so much better now.
Oh, he's so much better. Still hate to hear my baby cry. I know I'm not the only one.
No, and I think it's hard to sleep when your baby is crying. So it's like either they're awake, keeping you awake, or they're crying because they want you to come get them so everybody can go to sleep. It can really tear you in like 2 different directions. And I know I, for one, was giving her advice because of how I sleep trained my babies. You never know what you're gonna get, but I agree. That's wonderful advice. You have to pay attention to your baby and your schedule and what works best for you. There were a couple of nights where she was like, he sleeps really good in my bed. I was like, well, just keep him in your bed.
And some nights, I needed to work the next morning. I couldn't stay up for 2 hours in the middle of the night. It meant that we had to sleep together. You know, we've had some broken patterns in the middle, but in the end, that's kind of how you get to structure. Trial.
Yeah, trial and error.
I think that you have to have discipline in order to implement discipline. Some of that structure is really a lot easier when you work off of a schedule. Babies work better, in my opinion, off of a schedule. Ace knows when he's gonna eat. Ace knows when he's gonna do tummy time. Ace knows when he's gonna take a nap. When Ace sleeps good, he eats really good. If he eats really good, he sleeps really good.
They go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a cranky baby normally, doesn't want a bottle or wants to drink half the bottle and then fall asleep and then wake up again because he's still hungry. So it's like finding out a good balance. It's a delicate dance, but they all go together. Day to day with Ace is now pretty predictable, which I love. I'm at that point with him. Ace is gonna wake up between 6:45 and 7 a.m. I'm gonna change his diaper and then we're gonna have a bottle. We're gonna chill, lay in the bed, because mommy likes a slow morning. After that, we do some tummy time, we read a book. He talks the whole time through reading books. It's really amazing. It makes me think he thinks he's reading too. It's kind of fun.
He is.
And then he normally goes down for another nap around like 10 a.m. That nap lasts somewhere between an hour to an hour and a half. I can then get myself together, take a shower while he's down for that morning nap, prepare his lunch. I like to make his food. He's normally up for about 2.5 to 3 hours at a time. And then he'll go back down for that afternoon nap. In that time, mommy knows that I can handle some business, respond to some emails, clean up some stuff. Oh, did I forget to tell you that Ace is now brushing his one tooth in the morning? I'm teaching him how to brush his. It's a little, it's not a real toothbrush, obviously. Little kitty one, but it's a part of our morning routine I cannot leave out. Then we go through our nightly routine. I like to give Ace his dinner, and then he has a yummy bath. I think that he's pretty familiar with all of these things because I do the same things every single night. My best friend taught me about the red light, which kind of like gets everyone's like brain into turning down for the night. And I play lullabies. And sometimes if he's not super sleepy, I can read a book to him. But in most cases, Ace wants that bottle, his sleep sack, and it's time to go to bed. Sleep sacks are amazing. You can zip your baby into a little weighted cocoon. Makes them feel more comfortable and cozy. And I think a little weight might make them feel a little held. Yeah. So I always make sure that Ace is in his sleep sack. It does make him sleep harder, I think. Again, every baby is different, but it's worth the try.
So the sleep sack is something I'm definitely gonna try for the new baby. And speaking of welcoming a new baby, I have been doing a little baby prep of my own, again, just buying all the new everything I need. I forgot how much these babies need. So now that this is gonna be the 4th child in the house, I'm trying to prepare myself not only for a new baby, but how I'm gonna fit a new baby in with all the kids I already have. That is the question.
I actually thought it was really cute yesterday when you were like, I'm having the 4th baby. I wasn't sure when it was gonna kick in for you, but
it kicked in yesterday.
It was an emotional moment and I didn't wanna add to your emotions, but I was like, my sister's having another kid. Oh my goodness.
And you know what it was? It was just doing simple prep in the room where the baby would sleep. Instead of doing drapes, I decided to tent the windows. So when I lay the baby down, I want the baby to know the difference between daytime and nighttime. You can be awake right now, and right now I really need you to go to sleep.
It became a room that is now going
For
to
a baby.
house your 4th child that you've just been speaking of and nesting, but now you know this area in my home is now dedicated to my 4th child. And I felt it in your tone, but I think it's a beautiful transition because although I don't plan on having 4, honey, you don't
have to, I had it for us.
Oh, honey, you've had plenty of babies for us.
So I guess now I'm just trying to figure out what the new baby schedule will be, along with the other kids' schedule, and how we'll make that world cohesive. I don't know.
I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I know you're gonna do it.
Why, thank you.
Everything that you do for your kids, no child has had the same exact room. You give everyone like a new start, which is kind of like their own like independence, their own like identities.
Yeah.
And then they get to, as they get older, like her 6-year-old just said, she just decided like, what she wants her 6-year-old bedroom to be. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important for them to feel like they have their own identities, especially, you know, we're twins. You're constantly compared to each other because you
True.
look so much alike. It's important for us for individuality and identity to stand out and to be deemed different is a good thing. That's kind of how names come about, right?
No, I think so too, but it's funny because most people are like, oh, I don't want to name my baby until I see them, which I feel like every parent just kind of knows. Like if you thought your baby's name was George, then when the baby came out, you're like, no, you're not George.
You don't look like George.
I always knew that I wanted to name my son Ace. This person is about to be the highest bill in my life. Like he's the highest card in the deck. And that's mommy's Ace. And it's so appropriate because it's perfect, honey. He is. Fully
He
and
lives
completely.
up to his name entirely.
And your kids. Okay, so give me, well, obviously Bobby's a junior.
Yeah, he's the third, so he's named after Daddy.
Yeah, it's a given.
And then Christian, I think, I said I just wanted a biblical name. So once we found out that it was a boy, one day my husband was driving home from work and I literally said hello and he goes, what about Christian? And I was like, yeah, I'm Christian. What's your point? He said, no. What do you think about the name Christian? And I was like, well, I know I said I want him to have a biblical name, but I didn't think you were gonna pick the biblical name. It grew on me and I was like, wow, like Christian's such a great name. And you know, you hear people say, like you don't wanna give your kid a common name. You don't want your kid to feel like, so I've met a lot of adult men with the name Christian. I've met other little boys with the name Christian, but it still speaks to Christians' identity. It's still special for Christian. So I don't know. And then Celine, Malika and I love Celine Dion.
True.
I think my husband was trying to choose a name for a little girl that he knew both of us would like. I had another name idea, and the second he said Celine, we were like,
Winner.
whoa, how did he do that? Why didn't we think of that? And I did want C's. So picking the new name is gonna be really interesting because I have some ideas. Like, I even like my friend's dog's name. Like, you never know where you're gonna get inspiration.
You never know, but one thing Khadijah and I have to say is, for every child, we have had to sing their name in the happy birthday song.
Yes.
Just
Happy
to know.
birthday, dear
Christian.
Happy birthday to you. Or
Like-
if they're like getting called out in class, like, okay, so Ace, answer that question. I was like, see, that's gonna be nice to be called in front of a whole class.
What name do I want to yell or say multiple times a day?
Like,
I have to
Ace
do it.
out his farts. You know, you
I
have
had to do it
You have
several
to
times.
try it first.
Yes.
You have to know that it works for you saying it, and you know.
It's a feeling. You got to
It
feel
is.
it.
You gotta feel the name. No matter how many kids you have, I think it's very important to bond with your babies individually. Like, have a special relationship with each of your kids. With my oldest, something we love to do together is pick a TV show, and at least once a week, we binge 2 to 3 episodes. We talk about it afterwards. We talk about it all week. Anticipate the entire time when we get to sit down again and do that. Something that I like to do with my younger son is we watch sports. He's the one that loves football. He can trash talk. He knows the game of football.
Sounds a lot like you.
Yes. He is like a mini me and dad, like, because we're really, really into football. Celine and I, a lot of our special time is doing hair, painting her nails. We watched one of her Disney movies the other day. When I do those special things with them, it's just mom and them.
I've learned a lot about like how you spend time with your children individually and collectively. I start to look at things like, well, Ace is really young. What kind of things am I gonna do with him when he's older? Like, I cannot wait to go to a restaurant and share a meal with my boy. I've taken Ace to the park and I just bring his food with us, and I'll sit there with him in a stroller and let him look at the ducks in the pond,
so
and I'll
sweet.
feed it. Like, although we have so many memories at home, like, I will never forget my son's face the first time he saw a duck. He was just like, okay, so in the backyard, I see birds, I see squirrels. Like, those things weren't shocking to him anymore. But
It's
the day
that thing's waddling.
yeah,
in
he
front
was
of
like,
me.
is that, like, what is that? Just seeing life through his eyes only enriches my life further and makes me appreciate some of the things that I probably really wasn't still doing as an adult. When I color with Celine when she sleeps over, I don't know who's having more fun. I really don't. Celine and I will pick a page and we'll do it together, and we really map out how it's gonna go, and it becomes not hers or mine, it's ours. And we both sign our name on it, and it's like,
and then with V3, it's like you guys listen to music and you share music together.
Oh yeah, like I've really learned how to have quality relationships with the children, and my nieces and nephews, and I definitely think I will, well, I'm doing it already.
You're doing
it's
it
going
already.
with me and my son. We live in a world where there's always something crazy going on. There's always something you have to do, and we are always tired. But it's those little moments that you carve out with your little person that makes everything better. Our household dynamics are quite different. I'm actually the only daughter in my family that is not married with children. So co-parenting is the lifestyle for myself in my household. I'm sharing him. We're still learning him and getting to know him, but I think Ace and I's father are committed to loving our son and doing what is best for him so that he knows a life of mommy and daddy. I only plan on letting Ace know and see that mommy and daddy love each other. Ace was made in love. I only want Ace to understand that he can have both of us. I also want Ace to understand at some point that there's gonna be a time when you have mom and there's gonna be a time when you have dad, but you have both loving parents that are willing to work together for your benefit, hopefully save all the co-parenting talk to him when he's much older and can understand it, or at least until he starts asking questions. I would rather Ace see two healthy people that love him versus two people that love him but are not in a healthy relationship. I actually pat both myself and my son's father on the back because we're doing the best that we can do, and the truth is, you can see that our priorities are our son. And more than anything, there is nothing that makes me happier than seeing my son with his father. As much as I would have loved to be married and have my children, that isn't my story, but I don't feel slighted even in the least. What would be slighting is if my son didn't have a dad. And that is basically what we didn't have before my mom just married our stepfather. But anyway, like everything isn't always conventional. Life is the way it is, and I think you take the cards that you were dealt.
As they're dealt.
I was dealt an ace, and I will keep that card and do the best that I can with all the other cards that fall into place. I think parenting is such a broad spectrum, and I think that's the very reason why you have to take a moment and give yourself praise for the job that you're doing. So I want you to do a favor with me right now, and I really mean I want you to do it. Stop and say to yourself, I'm doing the best that I can.
Oh, that's nice. I'm doing the best that I can.
I'm doing the best that I can.
Okay.
Probably remind yourself every day.
I'm doing the best that I can. Keep doing the best that you can.
What are some of your mom hacks? Comment below.
Click the subscription button below so you don't miss any episodes.